Hello everyone. After yesterday's video, I wanted something easy to talk about today because, well, I don't know, I just felt like it. But oh, I have a story for you guys. For those of you who aren't in the US, this information may not be as known to you unless you stalk Twitter all the time. But recently, Huffington Post and BuzzFeed let go of all of their editorial writing staffs. HuffPost is apparently getting rid of their opinion section altogether. Which, by the way, makes me so happy when you think about last week's video. What it means for you to post this with your credentials and your acclaim. Consider the power and privilege you have over the parents and students that are the real victims of this situation, because you, ma'am, are currently passing judgment on something that you clearly only read one side of. You absolutely disgust me with your attitude, and I can only hope that someone tells you where you went wrong, because I know that you wouldn't bother listening to any of the common folk like me. Ah, the satisfaction. But alas, many of these self-professed, quote, great journalists with experience in gender politics and one with a literal PhD in romantic comedies, well, they are having issues finding new work. But don't worry, in comes the internet to the rescue, because obviously everyone knows if you're having a bad time professing it to the masses of Twitter, yeah, that's a good solution, right? Wrong. Well, actually, only kind of. The internet decided to bombard many of these journalists with learn to code in various forms. But goddammit, what did these recently let go journalists do when droves of internet users came to their aid? Well, of course, they called it harassment and blamed 4chan. Duh. John Levine was one such journalist, not laid off, but reporting on the, quote, harassment campaign. This is what he had to say. I am told by a person in the know that tweeting learn to code at any recently laid off journalist will be treated as abusive behavior and is a violation of Twitter's terms of service. He continues, update. Source was a Twitter spokesperson. Company has issued following clarification. It's more nuanced than what you reported. Twitter is responding to a targeted harassment campaign against specific individuals, a policy that's long been against the Twitter rules. So, perhaps Twitter had a moment of clarity when dealing with this issue. But luckily, for those of us like myself who did not catch this Twitter spat at the start, I have Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire to do it for me. But first, Fox News. Twitter fights harassment against fired journalists told to learn to code. Twitter is taking on cases of harassment against recently fired journalists, the website confirmed to Fox News on Monday, after many users reached out to the reporters with the message, learn to code. Initially, the Wrap's media editor, John Levine, our good buddy, said a Twitter spokesperson told him that using the phrase toward the newly unemployed journalist would be seen as abusive behavior and a violation of Twitter's terms of service. That claim sparked backlash on social media and suggestions the website was engaging in a double standard. Oh no, not a double standard. We can't expect journalists to get the irony of a double standard. But in the case the meme is lost on you, don't worry, the Daily Wire has us covered. Here's where the learn to code meme originated. Hint, not 4chan. Oh, see, you blew it in the first line. We're gonna skip the intro to this article because I basically already covered it, but in case you're interested, as always, my articles are down in the description below. With all the fuss surrounding the meme, the question became, where did learn to code come from? The answer? From journalists themselves, during the Obama administration, as conservatives decried President Barack Obama's war on coal and coal plant shutdowns. Media outlets rushed to the report that laid-off coal workers should learn to code in order to get a new job. NPR, Wired, the New York Times, and many other outlets ran with these stories, which seemed to some as elite media outlets mocking blue-collar workers for losing their jobs. And here we have a lovely compilation of the ironic source material compiled by someone at Comfortably Smug. She writes, like JFC, Jesus fucking Christ, it's not that deep, and then posts a bunch of headlines when coal miners had lost their jobs, and many of the journalists, some of which are the same who are currently jobless, wrote, all of them recommended these laid-off coal miners to learn to code. 'Tis beautiful irony. But the joke loses some of its joy when the other doesn't get it. Or does it make it better? I'm gonna go with both for this situation. The article continues. Now, people on Twitter are turning this around on journalists who have lost their jobs. Because if it's so easy for a coal worker to start a new career as a coder, surely the elite, educated, smarter than the rest of us journalists and opinion writers can learn it as well. Of course, since journalists can't be expected to do even a modicum of research, they blame the harassment on 4chan, searching for posts celebrating reporters losing their jobs and bragging about telling them to learn to code. But alas, memes are not without casualties. As Tim Pool reports, Twitter user Paul McKenzie at Paul94MCK appears to have tweeted #LearnToCode 3 times and learned to code once. One tweet was criticism of a journalist where he added the hashtag. The tweet was removed and he said he received a 12-hour suspension for it. Keep it up, Tim. I like your stuff. But what does that mean for us? Well, personally, as a coder myself, I wish journalists luck. Of course, their resumes are much longer than I. And I, being a filthy millennial, I have ruined so many industries that I couldn't hope to be able to help in any capacity. I guess you guys will just have to get a new job not writing about gender politics. Oh no. Thanks everyone for joining me on this one. It is a little shorter because, well, Saki made a song for me out of recent live streams that I did with Omegon. So I'm going to leave you with that. But if you guys have any comments, please leave them down below. And as always, I hope you have a good evening, and I'll see y'all soon.
TrupsLP thinks all Puerto Ricans are sex pests, it would appear. Yes, he does.
I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I was about to say, so yeah, they are sex pests.
So yeah.
He is confirming it, everyone.
Now look at those tits! Look at them! They're fantastic! They just, look at it! Look at those bazongas. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. New from Mattel, it's Ma'am Barbie. It's so good. There's like 8 different penis hairs. They're not hiding it very well. Fucking me good, fucking me good, fucking me good. It's so good. It's so good. This is the greatest fucking me good, fucking me good, fucking me good. It's so good. It's so good. Oh no, this is so dark.